Yeah, hello and welcome. Detailing Talk Europe again in Norway, but this time we do a Tommy special. So everything about Tommy, what is he doing, where he coming from, what is the idea to going to, and. And my name is Lars. On my side again, Patrick from the Rag Company Europe. Hello, Patrick.
Hello, guys.
And our special guest, Tommy. Hello, Tommy.
Thank you. Hello. I'm feeling special now. Calling a special guest and everything.
So that was an idea to bring the spotlight on you and on the detailing scene in Norway. What we figure out now, Patrick and me, I mean, we know it before, but this is a big scene in Norway, bigger than in other European countries. Yeah. So for this point, it makes sense for us to do a second episode also about this country and
Well, I guess there are probably, sorry for interrupting, there are probably bigger personalities in Norway within detailing, but we can pretend.
Yeah, but they were all busy, so we have to do it with you,
Yeah. 10th on the list. He said yes, let's bring him on.
We asked 10 other people.
Yeah.
Okay. So, up to Patrick, and then we will listen to Tommy. But first, Patrick, go forward.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Lars, and thank you, Tommy, for being on the show. We used the Tommy Special because we can't pronounce his last name. So Tommy Special is the easiest way to go for this. So we are very interested. We know Tommy has some interesting things that he can share with us, share with you guys. So we're looking forward to the conversation that we are going to have with him. And maybe, Tommy, you can give a short introduction about who is Tommy, what is he doing, and what is his position in the detailing scene in Norway?
Yeah, well, Tommy, he's me actually, and I'm 31 years old. Live in a small town, way the hell out of anywhere known to anyone. So it's like 2 hours from Oslo. I started my career as a, well, not to say career, but I started a small company besides having a job as an engineer, wanting to take on small jobs, doing some polishing, that kind of stuff. And then it quickly turned into selling products instead with the guys in Car Spa. Went there on a detailing course, and then it's just sort of built up from there. Now we're launching a new web store within hopefully a week or two. That's the short version.
Yeah, we want to know more. No?
Oh, you want the long one? Okay, sorry.
So
all the way from kindergarten or a bit
skip
further?
Kindergarten.
Okay. Well,
Tommy, tell us. I mean, you after school you study something and then you did a completely different job. So when do you start to do something with car washing? I guess it not really starts straight away with detailing. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But how is this going? And are you interested in cars or where it coming from? So I mean, the most people are interested on cars and like to care for it, and then they start cleaning and doing a bit more, and then figure out there's something more, and there's detailing, and this is mostly the way how it is. Is this the same way at your person, or is it a different way?
So basically, I did 3 years in school. I have a bachelor's in electronics, and then at some point after finishing the bachelor's, I got a job straight away as a service engineer in the oil industry. And at some point there, I started getting an interest in not only having a car, but keeping it clean and keeping it in good condition. I didn't have a polishing machine, but I got some pressure washer and some basic washing accessories, and then it just started developing. I went through a lot of bad products, figured out a lot of stuff on my own. There wasn't a lot of information at the time. This was back in 2012, I think. Yeah, so it's not that long time ago, but a lot has happened in the detailing and car care industry the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would say it wasn't really easy to find information and find the stuff about how products work. And then I did 3 years as a field service engineer in the maritime industry or oil industry, and then I started working as a development engineer in the defense industry, which was a good job, but it was it was an office job that had a lot of paperwork and some follow-up, etc. But good job, nice colleagues, paid good, all that stuff. But I sort of had a feeling that I need to do something in addition to this. So then I took a small what's it called, education with the project leader, the project manager education stuff in the evening. And then once that was finished, I started thinking like, should do something else. And then I made this small company that was, as I mentioned, the thought was to do some polishing and those kinds of jobs. And then I guess it turned into a bit more than that, to my wife's great, not sure pleasure, but it's it's a lot of work starting up, and it's been a long journey with failing and succeeding, and failing and succeeding, and finding stuff out. So I've experienced a lot of things during the years, and I hope to make use of that to sort of have a fresh start with a new company and just do things more the right way from the start. Yeah.
Okay, where do you start where you get your first products from? So do you go to a petrol station, or it's already 2012 an online shop?
Yeah, that was probably, I think, a lot of chemical guys products, because that was this, and also Built Hamber from the UK was probably some of the most known products here in Norway. We have the Detailers Club Norway, which is a Tapatalk forum, or not a Tapatalk, but a old style forum before Facebook came along.
Yeah.
And there you could get a lot of nice information on how to do stuff, more there than on the web stores themselves. This was, I guess, in 2012 you didn't have the type of stores we have today. So
and
we had
the forum was useful because these people work with the products, actually work with the product, so they were more into it than probably the web shops at that time.
Yeah, because I guess I can't remember how the web shops were, but back then I don't think they had the videos, didn't make so many videos, and they didn't have that many product descriptions. They just sold the products more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I guess the forums was more of a portal to knowledge than the web stores themselves. This has, at least here in Norway, it's changed a bit now, because now you have Facebook is where everybody hangs out, and then you have the web stores where you find a lot of information, and the forums is for the extra geeky or the extra nerdy people that wants to go the step further.
But after your ups and downs, you decided, because that's what you're saying, you were saying, right, that you were about to start a new company.
Yep.
More or less a collaboration, am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Can you tell a bit more about that?
Yeah, but before you did Storefoot or not?
Yeah, Storefoot is still active. That's where it all started, I guess, which has also evolved, but it's, it never had sort of a master plan. It's just been a bit here and a bit there, and it's evolved from that. So the new company will be a lot like Storefoot, because I'm still in by the rudder, or what to say, but I'm still controlling.
Maybe you can shortly explain what Storefoot. What was the idea, or is it just is it born by fun, or was a plan behind? Or?
I guess I noticed that a lot of the stuff put online by the vendors and by the people in the industry it's very serious. There's not a lot of laughing, there's not humor, it's just straight to business, and that's not very much how I do things. I like to have I like to get people laughing, but so it's I'm not sure how to translate it, but Storefoot is I'm not sure how to translate it into English, but it's a professional but not very serious business. So it's a lot of humor, but it has a knowledge base that it's built on, because if I didn't know what I was talking about, the humor wouldn't work. Then you're like, oh, this guy's kidding around and he doesn't know anything. Great, let's buy somewhere else. So, and this has been well received on the Norwegian market, but I think in order to take it to the next level and bring a bit more seriousness to it, it needs to have a new profile, a rebrand, if you want, because I believe that the Storefot endeavor has sort of reached this potential. I'm sure I could do more with it, but it feels natural. And when Carspa also we have almost equal shares in the new company, so when they join in as well, it's natural to do this with a more robust profile that is more professional and also more towards the B2B than the strictly B2C consumer.
Yeah, okay. So shortly I will explain a little bit that the people who listen first time and don't know who is Caspar or what they are doing. So Caspar is a company in Oslo, has around about 20 or 17, 20 detailers. They have also a smart repair area, they have a leather repair area. They are the distributor from us, from Lederzentrum, from the Colorlock products, but they are also the distributor for Norway, for Kochchemie. They have also, I don't remember the company name, some smell things from Poland. What is the name? What they distribute? You know? This smell, car smell thing.
Yeah, that's Vinove.
Vinove, yeah. And what looks very good and is smelling nice, what I have to say. There's a lot of things on the market what smells ugly, but this smells very good. And the special thing on this is that they have a design what fits to modern cars. So you can choose the same wood or the same clear coat, black, matte, or high glossy what fits to your car. So that's something what is special. It doesn't looks. It looks luxury or cheap, fits good to the interior. So that is one thing. Then they have some coating stuff, and it's a huge building. They have nearly 3,000 square meter, 2,800 square meter. It's a detailer shop, guys. Yeah. So 2,800 square meter detailer shop, and always what I say when you want to spot luxury cars, go on half an hour, sit down by Caspar. And you see more luxury cars on a lot of any shows on the world. So because it's every luxury or supercar or something like this who is owned in Norway enters this room. So you can see all the fancy cars. So there's something very special on Caspar, and they do everything always with 110% heart. So this is. Yeah. They are not doing something by side. Thomas and Dan is always, they don't like to do things on a halfway. That is what you see and what you feel when you come to this place. So just that the people understand who is Caspar, and this is the company you cooperate also. Storefot is your main company where you're coming from. Do you have something on your table to show the people the logo?
This one? There's the Storefot logo.
Yeah, the Storefot.
Yeah. Hang on. It's just to focus here. So this is the old logo, or this is the newest iteration of the Storefot logo, which is it's a simplistic version of the Yeti, because Storefot means Bigfoot, and the history of that is I have pretty big feet, so it's not a coincidence. This late if we're going off into that direction, I might as well. This late autumn evening in, I think it was 2016 or 16. I was sitting outside in the garden and trying to figure a new name for this hobby project or the hobby company of mine. And I went like, Bigfoot could work. And my wife was like, "What? Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's it. That's going to be it." She's like, "Why would anyone do business with you with that? That probably won't work." I'm like, "It will. Just wait." So, and this was from
that works, and it is everybody who see now the logo and the way how you write it. they will remember this always. So
Yeah.
from marketing side very well. That is why I ask you, please show us how the logo looks. I'm sure, Patrick, when you see this any place worldwide, you straight away remember to Tommy, no?
Yeah, there is another brand using like the same, but then in English, So they scored with that very well,
Oh, yeah. That was one. I was like, what if Rupus flexes their muscles and go like, hey, you can't call your company that? And then I saw like, shouldn't be a problem. But I actually had a small chat with Rune, one of the guys at Holgers, who has Norwegian import, and he was like, shouldn't be a problem. And it hasn't been a problem because it's a Norwegian translation of a international brand.
But even that, Bigfoot is a name, or Yeti is a name.
Yeah.
That has been used for ages already, So
yeah,
maybe they did register it. I don't know. Probably they did, but it's like you saying, it's a translation. It has nothing to do with Bigfoot in general. Yeah, for you guys in Norwegian. But if I read Storefut or there is no resemblance to the Bigfoot for us.
Yeah.
And when you met Tommy, when somebody else met Tommy in real time, then also
where the name comes from.
It's very good because you have to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. So luckily, I have big feet and I'm tall. Because just having the big feet would be just kind of silly.
Well, it would make the picture complete, because then you would look funny as well, So.
Yeah. But I also look funny. You will see.
Awesome. Question about your new company. The reason for you to start your new company, and you were saying, okay, there are some things, and I reached this maximum potential with the current company. What are the changes that you think you should go through to get to the next level?
Well, actually, we were discussing a bit before we were starting recording the amount of fallout removers you have in one store. My philosophy is exactly the opposite of the Amazon philosophy. So we'll have to wait and see if that works. But the idea is to have only the Koch Chemie stuff for washing. And for leather care, we will, of course, have Colorlock. And other than that, probably not that much. But the idea is to have a lot more focus on Colorlock and the solutions they provide, because I think that's also a section where we're missing a lot here in Norway. So if I can pull customers to the site that has cars, or they have furniture with leather, they probably also have a car. Most people in Norway have a car. So that's a sort of a nice way to get the customers in. And the biggest stores here in Norway, they have a lot of stuff. They have maybe 20 different fallout removers. So if I were to start a store like that, I'm not sure how I would be able to compete. So for us, it would be make more sense to have some sort of product assistant, product chooser, smart assistant, that the customer can go into, like, okay, I want to wash my car. He clicks the image. He then sees pictures of iron particles on the car. He clicks that, and then he gets maybe 2 products that he can use to remove the iron particles. That's one way of guiding the customer to the right product. And then you can, of course, also take him through the menu and all that stuff. But the idea is to make it simple. Have a nice looking web shop with nice pictures and good descriptions and videos of everything, and have it not be like a regular store that just flashes sales and buy this, buy that, buy that. I want to have a different focus, and it probably won't be the biggest selling, the volume-wise store, but hopefully it will be a place where people can go and just enjoy themselves looking at photos of cars, looking at nice product photos, and not feel that they're in a supermarket. That's sort of the idea, to make it a bit more exclusive.
So the thing is that the expertise that you guys have is something that you want to share and show in the workshop. So you guys know how to clean a car, you know how to maintain a car, and you know how to treat leather and all the other stuff. And so it's more like from your perspective, and then, I mean, you as a group, towards the customer.
Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot to mention that the idea is to have, because Casper is in the car scene in Norway. They have, I'm not sure if it's Scandinavia's biggest, but it's at least Norway's biggest and most, sort of exclusive detailing shop that you can go into with your car. So they have a reputation, and if we manage to combine those two things, I think it's probably a lot more powerful to have a web shop where there's someone behind the web shop that has a lot of experience with doing this work on the cars, instead of someone that only does the web shop. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I think the combination is quite exciting. And then you have a lot of smaller web shops that is run by detailers, single-handed operations in Norway, of course. But I think the possibility to have a big place like Car Spa be a part of it is probably something that can become very interesting.
It's a good foundation.
Yeah. And using, we have endless opportunities to use the coolest cars in the world for videos, and it's not that that's a competition in itself. I think it's awesome to see a one-step polish of a Volkswagen Polo or something. It's also cool, but doing movies on a Ferrari or Porsche, whatever, it's of course it will pull more attention than having the most basic cars.
We see that the majority on the social media and pages that score the best have the exotic cars.
Yeah.
So, and if you can combine the two, yes, it makes it appealing for people to watch. So we probably see a Volkswagen Golf every day. We probably drive one. So for the exotic cars to look at it, it's different. So it makes it more appealing. And I think even when they are in the streets, they make the streets more beautiful, the exotic cars, so that's the same with videos. You like to watch them, right?
Yeah. So then I shouldn't be on the videos probably, because then people won't watch it. But
maybe we won't see, we will probably see half of you then,
I should hire someone really beautiful to be on the videos.
No, I don't think that would work,
Good thing Lars is coming up soon.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's.
The problem with me is that you just see me then,
Yeah. No one else.
Small tiny supercar, and I'm
you see this part of me, and then you see Lars.
Yeah.
But I guess the idea is to, especially we were talking the other day about color lock, and I'm not just saying this to kiss ass, but we see that in Norway we are selling quite a lot of color lock products, but not enough. We need to sell more. So the way to do that is to make sure that people know the products exist. And the main competition is probably the furniture products, which are really good. So the thing is, if those two brands can sort of, of course with color lock on top, can build up the idea of people that they need to take care of their leather and interiors, I think it's a unique selling proposition to the visitors of the website, because a lot of the customers we have, they don't know that you can actually repair the leather, and they can actually do a lot of basic repairs themselves without having to leave it into the shop. And this is something I feel has gotten a lot more attention the last years, that people now are more aware that you are able to repair instead of replacing it with a 2,000 euro seat. You can just repair the scratch and it will look good enough.
Yeah, and it will hold, and it's always a good solution for unique cars, for vintage cars and young timers, but also when you have a unique car with a special interior and you have a damage, then you can keep it original, and that is especially on special cars. That could be also when we talk about a Golf, when you have a Golf 1 Genesis convertible with a wide interior, who is producing less, and you want to keep it, you want to keep it original. That is something where this kind of products can help, and of course, yeah. But what I like on this idea is, it's good to have some shops in a country who has more or less everything. Yeah. because you sometimes you want a big range, and also you have a different kind of customers in the country. So somebody is more focused also on the money. Maybe also somebody have to focus on money, but they want to do also something, So so it is good to have this. But when you say, okay, I want to go deeper, I want to share knowledge, I want to educate more. To say on your point, let's focus on few products. Yeah.
Yeah.
Build up a big knowledge about it. Have all details about it. Always look over the fence what other companies do to have a to check out what's going on there, what's going on by us. Are we good or we are not good? So this question you have always to ask by yourself. I mean, This is something what I do at a producer, and what the rack company do also at a producer for microfibers is I mean, one thing what I always say to everybody is also to a one-man show detailer shop, don't take too much time to look what other people do. Yeah. Mainly when you start your day, concentrate on that what you are doing and follow your feeling. But sometimes you have to recognize what's going on around of you, of course. When you don't do this, then you maybe will run in the wrong direction, or you will miss something. You can learn also from your competitors. You can learn also. And your competitors makes also advertising for you. Huh?
Yeah.
That is also a very important thing, what you don't have to forget. So, to focus on something makes always sense. That is the same. I did a few weeks ago an SLK interior for a video here, and I get a message from a guy. Are you doing this now also? Because you have the knowledge, you have all the products there. And I wrote him back, well, what is your business? And he exactly do this service, repairing SLKs. And I say, come on, mate. You doing the service, you concentrate on this. I'm a producer of products. I concentrate on my products. Of course, I have to show what is necessary, what you can do, what is possible to do with the product, and advocate. But also to open a shop here, a leather repair shop, and doing the work doesn't make sense, because then I lose my concentrating on the products to have always a good quality, and that's the same. That's the same for everybody. So you always have to concentrate a little bit. I mean, when you have an online shop with everything, then it's a focus on to have everything. Yeah.
And I think my philosophy is that if you have a lot of products, you will still sell the same amount of products in total. You will just divide it up on more products.
Yeah.
Yes, because I had a discussion with the former owner from AutoGeek in the US. And it was a brief conversation, and my main question was, if you could do everything from scratch again, what would you do different? And his first answer was, I wouldn't take so many brands, So you can get too carried away, because I agree with Lars. If you pretend to have, or say that you have all the brands, you should have all the brands, and you should have stock of everything. Which is, it's crazy to maintain. It can work for you if you are the biggest, and if people know to find you and your sales are good, then that's the way. But it's very hard to start this way, So you need a shitload of money to take on all these brands, and have. It's not only I have like a car wash from a certain brand. You have to go in depth of the brand as well, So because they have more than just a car wash, they have a cleaner, APC, eye remover, everything. So you need to have storage. It comes with a lot of money to do that as well, So, and I think it's difficult to be an expert on all, So
it is.
If you ask me, so if you go into expertise, I would always choose the way that you are going into right now, Tommy, where you say, okay, a couple of brands. This is what we know about. We know this is good, this is high quality, and this is what we want to serve our customers with. So we have high-end detailing and we have high-end products that we want to distribute to our customers.
Yeah, and I guess it's if you look at it from a warehouse perspective, if you have 10 brands and each brand has 10 products, which they obviously have a lot more than 10 products, then you have 100 different articles on those 10 brands. If you concentrate on one brand, you have 10 articles that does the same thing. And instead of having one box of each, you can then have 10 boxes of one brand per product. And then you can bargain for better prices. And then you won't run out of stock for one. It doesn't, in my head, it doesn't make sense to have all the brands in the world, because then you can be okay at all the brands, but you can never be the best. You cannot, instead of making one video on color lock every day for 1 month, you would have to divide it up on 10 different brands, doing one video in each, and then you will have a half-assed effort for everything, I think.
In a certain way, I agree. Sometimes you need, because if you go to a supermarket, because Maniac Auto, Raphael, that we had on the podcast, it works for him, you know. So, and there are some others in
Which
France.
Which country is he based in?
France. They're in France.
Yeah, so probably we also have to remember that my train of thought is in the Norwegian market, which is,
of course,
a lot smaller than a lot of the other markets here in Europe.
Well, that's true. That's a statement, you know. So, and that is something that we have to keep in mind. And this is why I think, okay, because in my opinion, if I was looking for some products that I would need to clean, I would prefer to get them from an expert, or at least somebody who has the expertise. And we also know that there are a lot of web shops, like you were saying, they sell product, but they don't know everything about the product, you know. So for them, it's buying and selling. And they're very good at that. And if you're a good salesman, you can sell everything. You can sell polishing machines today, car care products tomorrow, and vacuum machines the day after. You don't care because you're a salesman, you know. So, and there need to be some passion about the products you are selling. At least that's my opinion.
I agree.
It's how we look at it. We need to have the passion for the product.
Yeah,
I totally agree, and I think especially for. Say for Lars, there most certainly is a passion for the products. Without it, he wouldn't. Why would he go halfway around the world every other month to teach someone about his products? Well, I guess you're not doing that now, Lars, because of the coronavirus. But so having
5 years staying in the same country feels very interesting.
Yeah, it must be. How long has it been since you stayed this long in one place?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's good, and we did a lot of online things, and we have some to-dos what we normally can't do. So I think that is something for everybody. So yeah, that's it's okay. So that's fine. Traveling will come back, and we're looking forward that SEMA will happen. So we check this. So so the name of the new shop is
Detail Shop.
Detail Shop. So nice and easy. Everybody knows what you can get there.
Even you English guys, or you German and Dutch guys, should I say? You're Dutch, right, Patrick?
Detail Shop is yeah. Yeah, Detail Shop is like.
Okay. And then there's .no.
Yeah, .no.
.no. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I can find this range of products what you explain, and we can find also a lot of information. And if I have a question, I can send a question, and you personally will answer that.
Yeah, well, at least until the time being, because I've just hired a guy that will work on the packing and fulfilling orders, and then the idea is that I should handle more or less all the customer-related inquiries. But if we have the growth we would like to have, I would probably have to hire someone for that job as well at some point in time. But it's hard to find someone that has the product knowledge that, you know, makes the customer trust the answer he's getting. I can't hire someone without product knowledge in Kochchemi and color lock and have him up and running within 1 month. that's not possible. So I guess for the unforeseeable amount of time, I will have to handle that myself and have people do other stuff so I can do the customer experience.
Well, this is something that you have. Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
because when the problem that you have is that if you are on a certain level and in a certain expertise, it is not easy for somebody to take over your place. So
No.
it takes a bit of time to get them on the level, or at least at a certain level. Like you were saying, to answer a phone call or answer a question, because if the answer doesn't add up, people will start thinking, okay, this was not the expertise I expected.
Yeah,
you
then
know?
the entire concept of the store just falls to pieces, because then you lose the expertise. So I guess might be that the most natural way to go would the guy I now hired in the warehouse. He will probably, I would want to talk with him in a certain amount of time and ask him, would you like to also do some customer contact? And then we can maybe staff up the warehouse operations instead, because that's a pretty easy job to package stuff. So, but yeah, let's see if we can get some orders first. But I guess the also one of the ideas is to have sort of a Koch Chemie universe within the store, and also a color lock universe where you can click on color lock, and then you will have, well, I haven't made it yet, but I have an idea where you then can say you can go into furniture or boat, whatever area you need to have products for, and then you can get a sort of a guided journey through the products and what they're used for, and not just the standard this product and that's it. I want to have a bit more experience around it. So that's also one of the reasons people should buy from us, because they feel that they have the, as you say, Patrick, the expertise and the knowledge at every point in the sales process, and not just the product sales themselves.
Exactly. It's very important.
So let's see if I manage to do that. It'll be exciting.
No, I'm looking forward that it works. Also. So one point, what you're talking about now was boats. So I know Casper did last year. This year's was cancelled about Corona, but the year before, first time they go on the Oslo boat show.
Yeah.
What is a huge show, a round of boats, and we did a special boat kits for vinyl cleaning and maintaining. And I think the show is 4 days. After 2 days, all the kits were sold out. It was very surprised for me. I don't know if it's something what we can copy to other countries. Because
might be a Norwegian thing.
Because you have, every Norwegian guy has minimum one car and minimum one boat. No?
Or a cabin.
Or all three of them.
Yeah, or all three. I guess in Norway it's sort of strange, because you have the people that goes to a boat show, you can sort of think that they are guys that have, or women, not to discriminate anyone, that they have probably above average income or above average ability to purchase stuff, because a boat isn't something you're getting if you don't have the money for it. And I think it's sort of strange, but it seems like they have this pile of normal money, and then they have this pile of boat money, and the boat money is like, I'll buy whatever you sell me, just give it to me, it works, I'll have 3. So it's sort of a, I think also for one of the other the Bilpleiekongen, they had a boat affiliate store, some sorts, where they did some boat stuff, and they went to also a boat show, and they sold shitloads of polishing kits for boats. But it's not like the guys having boats don't know it from before. They just haven't had the products presented in that way. And so when they had the leather kits and textile kits with a boat on the front, they were like, hell yeah, give me those. Because then it's obvious that it's made for a boat, so then it's okay. Which makes sense. If you want to clean your sofa, you don't go out and buy a kit with a picture of a car. So I guess it's the same thing with boats. Yeah,
it's the same thing, but we were so very surprised. So we we already sell a little bit in the US, because to having a boat when you live on the coast is also more or less a normal thing. Also, UK is a country who has a lot of boats, so more than I expect before. So 5 years ago, I don't think that UK people have a boat, but also people who live
Ireland,
they have a boat. Of course, we have this kind of customers also in Australia.
Yeah.
But we never been before exactly on a boat show, and I was very surprised about the Oslo Boat Show, how big the interest of customers is about caring for it and also going detailing. So not just interior stuff, so also outside polishing, and there's a different material mix maybe also. So you need a bit different knowledge, or you don't need, I don't know. So maybe you can tell a little bit about boat detailing, or is it just maintaining, not mainly?
Well, I do have a boat, but it's an old pile of beep. So I haven't really spent much time on it. I guess the main thing that people do is to polish the gel coat, and then they would probably want a rotary machine with a lamb's wool pad and some heavy cut or some sort of correcting compound. But the outside of the boat is pretty much not visible when you're inside it. So I guess that's the reason for people wanting to take care of their interior as well. And we do have, I don't know how many boats have textile, but most of them are probably vinyl, I would say. At least a bit more expensive boats. I don't have any experience with the teak and oiling that, etc. But that's one thing that we don't have any products for that. So, but a lot of the customers that came to the booth on the Oslo Boat Show, they were very interested in seeing the. Of course, then we brought some pillows or the cushions from a boat and not a car, and showed them before and after, and it's obvious that a lot of them had been using this. I'm not sure what it's called in English, but the Jif, the skurekrem, which is like that you use for bathroom to clean tiles, etc.
Yeah.
It has almost like sand.
It's a sanding liquid. Yeah. It's like I know what you mean. It's scrubbing.
Yeah. With some sort of either steel wool or like a coarse sponge. They've been using that for years. And it cleans it, sure, but it doesn't really keep it, because then you get it cleaned and then it becomes dirtier even faster.
Yeah, you rough the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how expensive the average boat is, but I guess from judging by the sales, a lot of people have boats that they want to keep looking nice. So I'm not sure how they go around. If the customer that buys the leather kit or the vinyl kit also buys the polisher, I'm not sure of that, because polishing a boat is probably that's a step up for the DIY scale. It's much easier to care for the interior. That's maybe something the wife does while the guy is polishing, or I'm not sure, but it's an interesting market for sure, and something we are looking to expand a bit more into.
Yeah. And hope that next year the show will go on. No?
Hopefully. Has what's it called, the one in Germany, the show?
Automechanica.
Yeah. It's cancelled?
Yeah.
Automechanica has proposed it. So normally it's every 2 years. And they proposed it to next year, and then they will follow up from this date. So normally it's 20 and then 22. And now they change it to 21. So they proposed it to 21, and then they will go forward with 23, 25, and so go on. And yeah.
But what about SEMA? Has that been?
SEMA is still planning.
Yeah.
So it's still. I just get calls inside from Teams from my staff. So switch off. So so SEMA is talking to us that they still work on it, that it will happen. Maybe it will be a little bit different this year, but they are still want that it will happen, that it go on. We also had this call to collect our booths, and we are very proud and happy that we are in the North Hall, opposite from PNS. What is awesome because a lot of people come anyhow to PNS to see Rennie Doyle. And so it's a very good, nice place. So we are now in the group of the big players.
Well, how did you manage to move up so quickly?
Kiss ass.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
That doesn't work, you wouldn't say.
No. Give me the North Pole, I will sit on you.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but
Okay.
There's this thing, of course. I think
Well, it's just luck. So one reason is that the tent where the normally or the new exhibitors are is not this year existed. So there's some instructions. There's an instruction area, so they skipped the tent. No tent there. So and then normally you came from tent. You have normally go to the West Gate entrance, yeah, and I guess there's some cancellation. That is what Sima say, especially from the Asian area, and they have, but they have also some new companies. What normally goes in the tent, and the new companies there are no tent there, so they go to the West Gate. So companies like us, who are also a little bit unique, it's the same for the rack company. They also move to the North Hall now. So congratulations, Patrick, to this. And then they say, okay, unique companies, what we don't have a lot of, you know. So and who are already 2-3 years there. Let's try to put them in the North Hall and the new companies in the West Gate. So that is what I was thinking. But you never really know, and they don't talk to you open. You know, to collect this booth is you get an email on this day at this time on this time range. We will call you, and then you have to keep your phone for 2 hours clear because they just try once. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so then they call you, they pick up, and then they say, okay, guys, go. We have 5 minutes, then the line will skip, yeah? So you really just have this 5 minutes, and then they go with you on the website, then they say you can go there, or there, or there, and then you have 5 minutes. You can't talk to your colleagues, you can't say, okay, thank you, I will talk to my boss, and then check out what's happened. No, you have to select in this moment. When you don't do this in this 5 minutes, and the line skipped, it's over, you don't get a booth.
Okay, no pressure.
Yeah, like I said, no pressure.
Yeah.
It's fun to be there.
But this is SEMA, so yeah. However, so yeah, I think so. So 2 things I have or 3 things. We are not first time. We are now the 3rd time there. The second thing is no tent. Yeah, and the last thing is there's more or less no other company who do something similar like us. We are very, yeah.
And you're German, so they're pretty much terrified of you, I guess.
Not SEMA.
Okay.
No, they love the German stuff, you know. So everything with the German flag is good in the US.
Yeah. It's if you see how Obsessed Garage has built his brand, I think that's a lot of German-inspired stuff the way he's doing it, and it's
at least
stuff.
European stuff, yes, of course, because the Kranzel machines from Austria, his other stuff, a lot of stuff he gets from Europe, and we do the opposite. We get a lot of stuff from the US, so in a way, it's similar.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so we so SEMA, and one thing more is the government of Las Vegas is a guy. When you ask an American guy, what do you think SEMA will happen, and what is the government saying? The people just smiling and say this government will run this show for sure. But he's a bit, so this government is a little bit
it's different. But we have to see, We have to see how things will be managed and what is allowed and what is not allowed. So there will be restrictions for sure. But to be honest, it's more a problem when we talk about COVID. It's more a problem in the East Coast than it is in the West Coast.
Yeah.
So people in the West Coast, they are more laid back.
Well, I guess it's one thing is it open, but do you want to go there? That's the next question, I guess, because in
So we say, so what we are saying is our flights are already booked. And I've, of course, to save money, I booked this advance paying, with no cancellation option and all of this.
Yeah.
But it was cheap.
That's already paid. So if it's allowed to fly to the US, we are three guys. We say, yeah, come on, we will do this.
Yeah.
And, of course, we will take so much care for us how we can do. I mean, if the situation is coming worse than that, what I can't hope, because they have more problems, not just COVID. No? They do. So we will see. So, but at the moment we say let's go, and if it's allowed. I mean, at the moment it's not allowed to leave the country, Germany, and it's not allowed to enter.
No.
At the moment. So, but we will see how it's going on. But this is November. That's the first week of November.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's it's a bit time to.
Oh yeah, a little bit of time.
Time travels fast. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Well, the problem, I don't know what you guys have, but for us, the government told us if we travel to another country, because I have a training in the weekend of July the 11th, but the government already told us if we move and we get another COVID outbreak and a lockdown in Spain, because this is the country where I'm going to, the government is not getting me back from Spain. You have to do that by yourself, so they're very strict. In the US, that will be a bit more difficult, because in Spain, I can rent a car and drive my way up, so in the US, I can get me a boat with pedals, but it will take
probably would be a hard time getting across the Atlantic, I guess.
Well, it will be a challenge, but
we have to, Patrick. We have to ask Merdat. So Merdat is an aircraft detailer, but he's also a pilot, and he has a plane.
Yeah. So I have these products. Can you take me home?
Yeah.
I will give you this.
He will. He's from the Netherlands as well. He comes from the Middle East, and he lived a period of his youth in the Netherlands. So he still speaks a bit of Dutch.
Yeah.
So he can visit some family if he brings us over, and I will drive Lars the last bit. So
yeah.
we'll probably get home.
But we have a plan.
We have a plan.
Okay. So, but now back from the US to the small, beautiful country Norway.
Norway, yes.
Norway with a lot of curves and no autobahn, but
yeah, just a lot of mountains and
country, huh?
moose. Yeah, the Germans have been stealing the moose signs, the triangle ones, for several decades here.
But we do this in Sweden also.
Yeah, not only Norway.
It's a tradition.
But I think a lot of them they're surprised, because you see the sign like, oh, cool, and then you start unscrewing it, and it's really big. It's hard to fit inside a car. So I guess a lot of people has been surprised by the size of the signs. But I've actually taken one myself, so that's why I know it's so big. So shouldn't probably talk down the Germans for stealing them, because I did myself.
Yeah.
Next subject.
Maybe you get a visit later when this is live. Ding dong.
Yeah, like the police, the sign police.
Please show me your garage.
Yeah, but have you been, Lars? Have you been to other parts of Norway than Oslo?
Yes, I was in Trondheim.
Yeah.
But it's a long time ago. For vacation when I was a kid, so I was a teenager, was there, and what I remember is we are three kids at this time, My brother and me, we was always a little bit battling. So your battery is empty.
It is.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Hang on.
Uh-oh. No,
But like this.
Hey, you. So yeah. No, it's just a beautiful country. The point what I want to say is what I don't remember exactly 11, 12, something like this. My brother's 3 years older, so maybe for two boys a little bit difficult vacation to go in the wood and to have nothing there. But what we did was we was catching fish, so we was fishing and going in the wood. And I remember my brother also. We both remember. It was one of our most beautiful vacation what we had together. It was not so good weather, but we both had a good time. That was something what I always remember on Norway, and what I remember especially on Trondheim up to the north. It was a very good time because we just had us, my brother and me and my sister. And we three, we have to survive this 2 weeks with my parents in a wood house in a place where there's nothing. You know what I mean? So it was great, especially fishing. And then we did this räuchern. I don't know the English word. So we put it in an oven with some dust. So
smoking. Yeah.
Was great. So yeah. But Oslo is also a nice city. And I just can recommend to visit the city when the traveling regulation comes down. And it is a very fast-moving city, and it's a very modern city also. It's surprised. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see when a country and people have money, what you can do.
Yeah, well, at least we had money until Corona. I guess they're like sucking empty the oil fund or whatever it's called. So we'll see how that turns out.
It turns out very well. That's no problem. Okay, so we don't talk so much about the detailing scene. Give us an overview from your point of it. So in Norway, on what point are you in compared to the US, in compared to UK, in compared to Germany, for example, and
so I guess when we say the detailing scene, it's I would probably say anything car related that has to do with cleaning or maintaining the exterior, interior that's not mechanical on a car. I guess the main differences between, say, Norway and Netherlands or Germany is that I'm not sure how it is in is it called Holland?
The Netherlands. It's the Netherlands.
The Netherlands, Dutch, Holland. Isn't that the same thing?
No.
Okay. No.
We do that. We have it's like a province. Holland is a province in the Netherlands.
Okay. Yeah, but anyways, here in Norway, it's allowed to wash your own car in your driveway. Is that allowed with you, Patrick?
No.
No,
it depends on the area that you're in. And that's to do with the sewage system.
Of course, and the density of population, because here in Norway it's like 1 person per square mile or something. And also in Germany, it's not allowed to wash your own car outside of car washes and self-service car washes. Is that right, Lars? Or do you have some areas in the country that's okay to wash your own car?
Yes, it's from village to village different. So you really have to look where you live, in which place you live.
Yeah.
And so in my area, for example, is not allowed. But one town, the next small village, what is just 5-6 kilometers far away, it's allowed because we have in Germany one-way water rinse. So rainwater and what coming from a house, and we have separated.
Okay.
And it depends what you have, it's allowed or not allowed. So you have to ask. But mainly, I think I don't know exactly the numbers, but by my feeling when I talk to people, mostly it's very often not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, that's probably the biggest difference, is that in Norway there are no regulations regarding the washing of your vehicle. We do have a lot of, I haven't been to Denmark a lot myself, but I hear people say that going to Denmark on vacation is a nightmare because then you are not able to find any good self-service car washes. So we have a lot of people washing cars at home, but we also have a lot of self-service car washes here in Norway. So we have both. But I guess the tunnel washes and portal washes are not that big here in Norway as they are in other countries. So that's probably the biggest difference, is that people are allowed to wash their cars. And from what I've heard, there's not going to be any bans on doing that. It's not going to be any regulations on it, because the amount of the particles and chemistry
pollution,
the amount of pollution is so minimal compared to other stuff that it's not really a thing. If you live in a city, of course, and you don't have your own driveway, you won't be able to wash your car. But if you live outside of a city, or you have a city apartment with a place for your car, you're free to wash it. So, and that means that everyone that has a car is a potential customer. And also for the detailers, we have a lot of people basing their detailing operations from their garage, that they have a company that they run out of their garage. But then the thing is a bit different, because that's not really allowed, but they do it anyways, because then you have to have the approved water filtration system that separates the oil and the sand, and you need to have a contract with a company that comes and cleans it, and you have to, it's pretty expensive. So if you have a company that does car washing and polishing, you need to have this system, but there's a lot of guys that don't. So I think at some point in time there will be more controls on the companies that have, because they have a code in their company description that says what they're working with, and those companies will probably get more attention from the government at some point in time, checking the facilities that they work in. But for us, as sort of selling the products, this means that we have a pretty decent market to go into. In Norway, we are, I think, 5 million people. So it's harder to have, well, harder and easier, I guess. But seeing that we have not 50 million people living in Norway, we don't have this many potential customers. But then again, I guess the average Norwegian probably has more cars than maybe someone in south in, maybe more expensive cars. I don't know, but as long as you have a car that feels special to you, or that is a bit expensive, you want to take care of it. And
I mean, what is for sure, what is also in Switzerland, is that the incoming is just higher, and buy something from outside, it a lot of things feels for people from Switzerland or from Norway, it feels very often cheap. So of course, when you have this kind of feeling, it's just easier to buy or to spend. And this is also what I see on the Oslo Motor Show when I'm there. One very nice thing is that nobody complains that I don't speak Norwegian. That's no problem for Norwegian people to change the language to English. Just older people, very older people, they say to me, do you have somebody who speaks? I ask them, you see this in the face if they're comfortable with English or not. I mean, on these 3 days, I have this 2 times that people say, Norwegian is more, it's better for me, no? But all other people say it's no problem, even with my English. And
but your English is pretty decent.
Yeah, and the people they are fine to spend money in compared to other countries. When I'm in other countries, it's more, really, is this a price? Is it necessary? Can you do something for me? That is nothing what Norwegian people do. So that will be something what is also helpful. I think so. And but I just can say in Oslo you see a lot of luxury cars. I mean, Tesla is a big thing, or electric cars anyhow. But all the other electric cars is also a big thing. And but you have what is about this wash boxes? What you have? on a petrol station. This self-made boxes to remove the salt from the street in the winter, isn't it? Or for what is it?
The like the self-service car wash, or where you can rinse off the car.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah.
But that's is that not so normal in Germany to have those?
We have this, but we don't have it on every separate petrol station, you know. So we have a special place. Then you will find 5 up 8 boxes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So people, car enthusiasts, or people who don't want to go to a mechanic system, they are scary to get scratches, so they want to do it by themselves.
Yeah.
So, but what I saw in Scandinavia is more or less every petrol station has.
I guess at least here in Norway,
petrol station have self-washing. Box, no?
I'm not sure why it's like that, but in Norway, I guess a lot of people like to wash their own car that way. You won't get a proper wash just rinsing it off. That's also a difference, is that we went to Kochchemi in Unna in Germany, and we were talking about we are buying a lot of Teerwasser, which is the white spirit, the mineral-based product for removing asphalt from cars.
Yeah.
And talking to the chemists there, they were like, "No, this is not really a product we sell a lot of in Germany. They sell it to Norway, Russia, and a bit to Poland, I think." Mm-hmm. So for domestic sales in Germany, it's not really a product that they sell. It's more of a special product for removing. You got a asphalt stain, let me use this, remove it. Here in Norway, it's like, give me a barrel of this, I need to pour it on my car. So I guess it has to do with the asphalt mixture in Norway. That's probably one of the biggest differences when I look, because initially you asked between the differences between UK and US and other countries, is the washing of the vehicles is a bit different. We need to have oil-based degreaser for removing asphalt, and we also need to have an alkaline foam or an alkaline product that we either put on top of the oil-based degreaser or use this alone to remove the road grime, because the composition of the dirt is pretty much a nightmare to deal with without the chemistry. There's no way you could just foam a vehicle with shampoo and have the dirt fall off. So this also might be a reason for having more self-services, because when you go to a self-service car wash, you have you either have a oil-based degreaser, or you have this thing that's in between. It's called a micro-emulsion, where you have a chemical composition that's both alkaline and it's oil-based. So it removes a bit of both worlds. So when people go to a self-service, they apply this and then they rinse off, and they have a 80% clean car. You still need to do the hand wash to remove the traffic film, or what to call it, but it's more common to see cars in the self-service than in the washing machines or in the portal washes. Especially on the detailer's point of things, we consider the machines to destroy the paint, but then I also try to say that, hey guys, calm down. This is why you have polishing of cars, because people fuck up their cars in the machines, so just let them do it and you will have work. You will have paint to correct. Calm down.
The circle of life, yeah.
Yeah. And then you see people filming on the Facebook forums, like, I look at this idiot, he's washing his car with the window cleaner and he's using the brush, what an idiot. And I'm like, yeah,
great.
That's why you have work.
Yeah.
Okay, so this I have one question, Patrick. So what I'm not so deep in this outside washing things, and I just hear a little bit. But I was thinking that more and more it becomes popular to get a neutral pH foam. Is that true, or that is something what is then different to Norway and Russia, that they want the alkaline one? Is it, or is it
a neutral foam? You're talking about a neutral foam?
Yeah.
The thing is that
looking on a pH level. That is what you mean with alkaline. It's a It's a high pH, no? So it's a high pH. What is worse for leather and vinyl, but outside it's a different thing. And I was thinking that more and more companies try to get more or less a neutral or come down with the pH, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing is that the majority of the foam that you see that people use in the UK and here in Europe, it's not that effective. So it's more or less pH neutral already, because they use a regular shampoo, which is around the pH. Some of them, they are pH neutral, and some of them are around the pH neutral scale. What you see now is that some of the companies, they try to increase the acid side or the alkaline side. To get something done, you know, so because it's of no use. What they do now is just for show. It's for the pictures, you know, so it looks very funny if you have your car foamed with a shampoo. On our Instagram, we had one video where one of our customers used foam on a wheel with an IK sprayer, and I think it's been watched over 100,000 times. You know, so sometimes it's satisfying to people just to see it happen. It makes a lot of, it's an impression. If you have a black car and you have like white foam, you have companies that have colored foam, but that's just for show. So I would always prefer something that they have in the Scandinavian countries. Of course, the cars over here and in Germany, here in the middle part of Europe, they don't get that dirty as in the northern part or in the eastern part of Europe, you know, so there is a difference in cleaning. I totally agree, but I know they have some crazy stuff over in Scandinavia that if you spray this on your car and you rinse it, like Tommy is saying, it is clean for 85% already, and you don't get that with the foam that we are using over here.
Actually, for during winter time, you need to have the oil-based degreaser to remove the grime composition that is on the car. It's not the salt itself, but it's the composition of dirt that is attracted by the salt, because the salt it melts the ice, and then you have all of the dirt from winter, and everything is just one mineral cluster. Yeah, so it and that really embeds onto the paint. So you're not able to remove that with, even if you have a product with pH 13.5 or 14, it won't solve it. You need to have something oil-based to remove it. So it's a whole different ball game when it comes to cleaning than a lot of other countries have.
True.
It's interesting that you're talking about it's not just the pH, it's also the oil and something like this. So this always what I recognize, and that makes a difference also to your new shop and to your channel. You always need knowledge behind the surface to understand why something works or why something doesn't work, and why it's helpful, why it's gentle. Maybe it's you say, oh, the pH is so high, it's aggressive for the surface. But when you look, that is one point. But there's 3 other points who are very gentle and eliminate the high pH, for example.
Yeah.
So we can use it for this. So that is something. What is for me the difference between a normal auto putzer and a detailer, you know, so that you know the difference deeper under the surface or whatever.
And that's also why it's interesting to with, say, the leather centrum products, when you have something that you use in a specific sequence. And if you ask Lars about this, he can explain why it's like this and this and this. It's not just use product A, then product B, and then product C. Yeah, but why is, I don't know. Don't ask me. He has an explanation of how it works this way, and that's the extra you need.
Thank you, appreciate it. But this is I'm a producer. I have to. I have to do this. And that's the same when you ask Patrick about a microfiber. He can talk 1 hour. It's a different of one same material. So.
But I guess that is also what defines you as an expert in your field. And if either one of you were to start to impose as experts in other fields, you would probably get people would look through you. So that's also back to what we were talking about with having all the products in the world in one shop. You can do okay, but you will never be the best in your products because you have too many of them. You can't be an expert in car washing, microfiber, leather. It's not possible.
No,
I agree.
That is absolutely agree. Okay, so I don't look. I don't remember exactly when we start, but I think we're around about an hour now.
Yeah.
And or I'm sure we are over an hour. So but I can't see it here. Doesn't matter. For me, very, very interesting to get a bit more idea. I like also this idea from you, not just because Colorlog is a part of it. I like this idea really. People who know me know that it's really true. That you say we want to focus, we want to give the people more. We want to be there for the people. We want to share the knowledge, and everybody who knows Tommy a little bit more knows that he's more than just a nice guy with a lot of experience and sharing experience, and he's not a typical business sales guy. So I think sometimes you have to care for yourself, that you also earn money with it, what you do, you know.
Yeah. And I guess I don't have a lot of experience with detailing. I don't have 70 cars under my belt that I've polished, but I have an ability to deep dive into things and figure out how stuff is working, which is part of the reason why I became an engineer, because I've always been interested in why stuff works the way it does. So it's I hope that the average customer will appreciate the amount of detail that we will put into the new shop and not care about if it costs 30 euros or 20 euros. He sees a solution to a product, and that's what he wants to buy. So hopefully we will be able to scale it to a level where it's a good business.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, of course, after we close down, the links will be in the description. So for people who want to watch the web shop, if it's live, it will be live in 2 weeks, or what were you saying?
Yeah, when will this episode be available?
Yeah, we can make it available when we want, of course.
Yeah, but you probably have I know the one with Christopher, the crazy Polish guy, also from Norway, with safe products. He was it released yesterday?
Yeah.
So you're probably 2-3 weeks ahead of time or something.
We can switch if we want, of course. So we can make this work. So it will be like from now. If we say from today, we have.
I'm a bit scared saying when the store will be live, because there's a lot of details that needs to be figured out. But 1 to 2 weeks at latest.
Yes,
2 weeks.
The podcast will be online. So if people watch this in 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever, the link will be in the description, and they can take a look at the website, because
they understand nothing. Because it's in Norwegian.
And now it's very, very, it's an adventure for everybody who listen now to this podcast, because it is now 2 weeks or 3 weeks forward. And you can go down now to the instruction of the video, find out the link, and look what's happening. Go on it.
Yeah, and then you need to learn Norwegian. Is it even a website? Does it exist?
What is this?
Website there on it, surprise. So we will see. If not, we will put also the Instagram link to Tommy, and then you can contact him directly.
Yeah.
Feel free. You see, English is no problem for him, so just.
I will have the largest Instagram account in Norway, as you said in the start. So I will have to do this. Just give me a year.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a nice challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just can say thank you very much, Tommy, to having us, that you are on our show.
Thank you for inviting me.
To do the detailing, talk Europe a bit bigger. We need more people who listen to this. Patrick and me, we will keep on. One of the next episode will be with a detailer guy from Portugal. Who is also the distributor of Koshini, but he did also a lot of other things, and he's now, I think, 30 years in the detailing scene, so really, really long time. And
so just one note to that, sorry for interrupting. I think when you're talking about listeners, the most important thing you need to do is to get this on audio platforms and not only YouTube, because then you can have the people listening in their cars. And if you get it on Spotify, Acast, there's a whole bunch of podcast platforms that you can publish to automatically. If you use, say, Libsyn or a service like that, you can push the episodes automatically, not having to do it manually. And for me, when you told me about the podcast, I started looking on Spotify and Acast and all those places, but I couldn't find anything.
No, we're working on that.
And I don't have a YouTube Premium account, so using YouTube, the only way to play the YouTube video is to have it open on the phone. So if you put it in your pocket, then that won't work.
Tommy, that's good because we are getting ahead on things. We are working on the Spotify account, and the next episode and all other episodes will be on the Spotify account.
Nice.
And the link will be in the descriptions as well. So every video will get the Spotify description, and everything will be on Spotify. Because as you were mentioning, if you have like an hour drive to your work, that is a nice opportunity to listen to this.
Yes, it is, and that you can do it on video as well, but it's not easy. It's not that easy getting followers. On our podcast here in Norway, we have 1,000 downloads per episode. So in my head, you should be able to get 50,000 if you market it and do it. No problem.
We try on this. No? The only thing is that Patrick and we do also
another business.
Yeah, but you have 3 months. Then you must have 50,000 downloads.
Okay.
3 months. That's also another challenge.
Yeah, a bit steep, maybe. A bit steep.
We will do this. Yeah. Okay, so Patrick, thank you again. Tommy, anyhow, thanks a lot. Hope to see you guys in real.
Very soon.
Very soon. Stay healthy and best regards to all the people outside. Also, stay healthy.
Drink beer. Have fun. Detail your cars.
Enjoy life. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.